Ever wonder what ignited the feud between hip-hop titans Drake and Kendrick Lamar? Well, take a seat as we dive into the origins of one of the most riveting rap battles of the 21st century. Drake, the Canadian rapper, known for his emotional transparency, and Kendrick Lamar, the Compton-born wordsmith with a knack for storytelling, both emerged on the hip-hop scene around the same time. Initially, their relationship was cordial, even mutual respect was evident. They both recognized each other's talent and contribution to the genre, often sharing stages and collaborating on tracks. But the harmony wouldn't last. The first signs of tension surfaced in 2013. Kendrick Lamar, featured on Big Sean's track Control, dropped a verse that sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community. He called out several rappers, declaring his intent to outshine them all. Among the names mentioned was none other than Drake himself. Kendrick's verse was a gauntlet thrown down, a bold declaration of competitive spirit. It wasn't a personal attack, but it was a clear challenge. He was saying, "I respect you, but I'm coming for your spot." His lyrics were a call to arms, a push for rappers to step up their game. Drake, who has never been one to back down from a challenge, took note. His response, however, was not immediate. He chose to bide his time, to let the dust settle. But anyone who knows Drake knows that he's not one to let a challenge go unanswered. So, what started as a friendly rivalry, a competitive spirit between two talented artists, had taken a sharp turn. The stage was set, the lines were drawn, and the hip-hop community watched with bated breath. The spark had been ignited, and the flame was about to spread. And just like that, an epic rap battle was brewing. So, how did Drake respond to Kendrick's challenge? Well, let's just say he didn't take it lying down. The Canadian rapper, known for his introspective lyrics and smooth flows, found himself in uncharted territory. This was not just about chart positions or platinum records. It was about respect, about proving oneself in the arena of lyricism, the very heart of hip-hop. Drake expressed his disapproval of Kendrick's ambitious Control verse in several interviews. He felt the verse was unnecessary, a cheap shot aimed at creating buzz. But despite his public disapproval, Drake held his ground, refusing to be baited into a full-scale rap feud. Instead, he chose to respond in a more Drake-like way, through his music. In the song Tuscan Leather, from his album Nothing Was the Same, Drake subtly addressed the situation. He didn't call out Kendrick by name, but the message was clear. Drake was not backing down. He was ready to defend his position in the rap game using his most powerful weapon, his words. In various interviews, Drake continued to play the game, throwing subtle jabs at Kendrick. He downplayed the importance of Kendrick's Control verse, suggesting that it was more of a publicity stunt than a genuine call to arms for hip-hop. He even questioned Kendrick's ability to make a hit song, a comment that further escalated the tension between the two. The tension was palpable. Every interview, every song, every tweet was scrutinized for hidden messages and subliminal disses. The hip-hop community held its breath, waiting for the next move. Would there be a direct confrontation, or would the war of words continue to simmer beneath the surface? In the midst of all this, there was a sense of excitement, a thrill that comes with witnessing two titans of hip-hop going head-to-head. This wasn't just a feud. It was a clash of styles, a test of skill, a battle for the soul of hip-hop. The stage was set for an all-out lyrical war. But Kendrick wasn't about to stay silent, was he? Kendrick Lamar, a lyrical genius packing a punch, had something to say. He wasn't one to let words fly without a proper response. And respond he did, with the subtlety of a sledgehammer wrapped in silk. The stage, the 2013 BET Hip Hop Awards. This was not just any performance. It was Kendrick's moment to fire back, his platform to address the disses thrown his way. But true to his style, he didn't call out Drake directly. Oh no, Kendrick was far too clever for that. Using the power of subliminal messaging, he crafted his verses meticulously, each line a carefully veiled jab. Now, it's important to remember that Kendrick is a master of weaving intricate narratives with his lyrics. His performance that night was no exception. He used metaphors and clever wordplay to respond to Drake's comments, leaving no room for doubt about whom he was addressing. He threw punches with lines like, "Nothing's been the same since they dropped Control," and tucked a sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes. This was a clear reference to Drake's album Nothing Was the Same, and his reputation for being a more emotional, introspective artist compared to his contemporaries. But Kendrick didn't stop at just one line. He continued his lyrical onslaught, making sure his message was heard loud and clear. The performance was a showcase of Kendrick's lyrical prowess, and a testament to his place in the hip-hop hierarchy. The aftermath of Kendrick's performance was as expected. The hip-hop community was buzzing, dissecting each line, each word. The subliminal shots weren't lost on anyone, and the message was clear. Kendrick was not going to let Drake's disses slide. With his performance, Kendrick had effectively stoked the flames of the beef. He had fired back, and in doing so, had turned a war of words into a full-blown lyrical battle. The stage was set, the players were ready, and the audience was captivated. Kendrick had stoked the flames, and the beef was now in full swing. The feud was anything but over. What was the next move? As the rivalry between these two hip-hop heavyweights raged on, the airwaves and digital platforms became their battleground. Drake and Kendrick did not shy away from expressing their feelings, their lyrical prowess, acting as their artillery. They traded blows in songs and interviews, each line a jab, each verse a roundhouse kick. It was a lyrical boxing match, and the world was their ring. Let's delve into some of the lyrics that fueled this feud. In Kendrick's track, The Heart Part 4, he spit fire with lines like, "My fans can't wait for me to sun your punk ass." A direct hit at Drake, it was clear Kendrick was not backing down. Not one to let a challenge go unanswered, Drake responded in his track, Free Smoke, with lines like, "How you let the kid fighting ghostwriting rumors turn you into a ghost?" A blatant counterattack, Drake was standing his ground. The beef didn't stop at music. In interviews, neither artist held back. Drake, in a Rolling Stone interview, stated, "I know good and well that Kendrick's not murdering me at all in any platform." A bold claim and another jab at Kendrick. Kendrick, in a Billboard interview, retorted, "If anything, we can all get in the studio and he can stand next to me while I write." A clear dig at Drake's ghostwriting allegations, Kendrick was not pulling any punches. Yet, amidst this feud, a strange thing happened. Both artists continued to thrive, their music resonating with millions around the world. The beef, rather than tearing them down, seemed to be pushing them to new heights. Their tracks topped charts, their albums went platinum, and they dominated the hip-hop scene. Despite the ongoing feud, both artists continued to dominate the hip-hop scene. Their rivalry, a testament to their passion for their craft, and a symbol of the competitive spirit that drives hip-hop. Amid the conflict, were there any attempts to mend fences? Yes, indeed, there were. As the feud between Drake and Kendrick Lamar raged on, the hip-hop community wasn't just sitting back and watching. Several industry insiders tried to mediate the situation, knowing full well that a united front is stronger than a divided one. One such peacemaker was the legendary hip-hop producer and artist, Dr. Dre. Known for his wisdom and neutrality, Dre reportedly reached out to both artists in an attempt to broker peace. He reminded them of the common ground they shared, their love for music, their shared experiences as black men in America, and their role as influencers for the younger generation. But it wasn't just the old guard trying to intervene. J. Cole, a mutual friend of both Drake and Kendrick, also made efforts to smoothen the rough edges. As someone who has collaborated with both artists, he was in a unique position to understand the strengths and perspectives of both sides. Now let's talk about Drake's stance. Despite the beef, Drake was never shy about admitting his respect for Kendrick's talent. In various interviews, he acknowledged that Kendrick was a formidable artist, commending his lyrical prowess and storytelling ability. He once said, "Kendrick is an incredible artist. I've always respected his craft, and I think he's pushing the boundaries of what hip-hop can be." It's important to note that these gestures of respect weren't just one-sided. Kendrick also reciprocated, acknowledging Drake's impact on the music industry and his knack for creating chart-topping hits. Yet, despite these attempts at peacemaking and the mutual respect shared between the two, the feud didn't just magically dissipate. The tension between Drake and Kendrick didn't vanish overnight, but it did seem to mellow down a bit. They both continued to make music, they both continued to succeed, but the undercurrent of rivalry remained. Even though there were attempts at peace, the rivalry still lingered. What happened next? Did the beef ever get resolved? You ask. Well, let's dive into the aftermath, shall we? The waves of the feud between Drake and Kendrick have calmed significantly over the years. It seems as though the tides of time and the whirlwind of their individual successes have made the once turbulent waters a bit more placid. The two hip-hop titans have seemingly chosen to focus more on honing their craft, producing powerful music, and less on their past differences. The fiery exchanges and lyrical jabs that once filled the airwaves and social media feeds have now been replaced with a quiet respect. It's almost as if they've both realized that the world of hip-hop is large enough for both of them, and that their energies are better spent on creating rather than clashing. It's important to note, however, that even though the beef has cooled, it has not been officially declared over by either party. There have been no handshakes, no public apologies, no duets. The silence, in this case, seems to speak volumes. It's as if they've both agreed to let sleeping dogs lie, to let the past be the past, and to look forward to a future where their music speaks louder than their disagreements. This feud, as heated and as public as it was, has left a mark on the hip-hop industry. It's become a part of the narrative, a chapter in the story of hip-hop. It's served as a reminder that even in an industry where competition is fierce and rivalry is common, there's room for respect, for growth, and for change. It's also reminded us of the power of words. Words that can ignite a feud and words that can heal. Words that can create and words that can destroy. The words of Drake and Kendrick as they've navigated this feud have been a testament to this power. Even though the feud may have simmered down, its impact on the hip-hop industry is undeniable. The echoes of their lyrical battle continue to resonate, reminding us of the passion, the talent, and the drive that fuels this incredible genre. So, what can we take away from this legendary feud? In the annals of hip-hop, the feud between Drake and Kendrick Lamar stands as a testament to the power of words and the influence of artistic rivalry. This wasn't just a spat between two artists. It was a clash of titans, a battle of words and wits that left an indelible mark on the landscape of hip-hop. Their beef started as a spark, a minor disagreement that snowballed into a full-blown war of words. The barbs they exchanged weren't just for show, they were deeply personal, reflecting the artists' divergent perspectives on the world of music and their places within it. Kendrick, the Compton wordsmith, used his sharp lyricism to challenge Drake's claim to the throne. He didn't just retaliate, he fired back with precision and power, delivering some of the most memorable disses in recent memory. His words were a call to arms, a challenge to Drake and the rest of the hip-hop community to step up their game. Drake, the Toronto Titan, was no pushover. He held his own in this battle, proving that he was more than just a chart-topping hitmaker. His responses were clever and cutting, showcasing his lyrical prowess and his ability to strike back with a vengeance. This feud wasn't just about Drake and Kendrick, though. It had far-reaching implications for their music, their careers, and the hip-hop industry as a whole. Their rivalry pushed them to new creative heights, resulting in some of their best work to date. It also stirred up the industry, forcing other artists to pick sides and raising the stakes for lyrical supremacy. The impact of their beef extended beyond the confines of their own discographies. It influenced other artists, inspiring them to hone their lyrical skills and engage in their own battles. It also shaped the culture of hip-hop, underscoring the importance of competition and the power of words in this genre. Attempts at peacemaking were made, but the scars from this battle remain. The aftermath of their feud is still felt today, with their exchanges serving as a reminder of the intensity and passion that fuel this art form. While the Drake and Kendrick beef may have been controversial, it undeniably shaped the course of hip-hop, proving that even in conflict, creativity can thrive. Their feud serves as a reminder of the power of words, the importance of artistic integrity, and the enduring impact of a well-placed diss. And while their battle may be over, its echoes continue to reverberate in the halls of hip-hop, influencing a new generation of artists and fans alike. So despite the controversy and the bad blood, one thing remains clear. This feud wasn't just a battle. It was a catalyst, a seismic event that forever altered the landscape of hip-hop. And for that, we can only say, long live the art of the beef.